Last season was a good one. The game's on the up and up. This year, it'll be even better. True, we've lost some giants. They were a credit to the game. But we've also found some young'uns. They promise to be the same. That's what the big game's all about. It happens every year. We lose a few of our heroes, but find others who know no fear. We see them give it all they know. We see them give it their best shot. 'Cause whether unknown or famous, you gotta give it all you got. Last season was a good one. We saw a big man walking tall. But who will it be this year to collect the greatest prize of all?
Good afternoon, welcome to Weldon Road, Castleford. First match of the season. Glad to be back in harness now. Castleford versus St Helens. A fine day here at Weldon Road. After some rather bad weather lately. But here we are for the first league match of the season. I'll just run through the teams for you now. Saints, number 1, Beavers, 2, Large. This is David Large, close season signing from the junior ranks. Number 3, Lachlan. 4, welcome back to Mark Elia. 5, Kevin McCormick. 6, Mark Bailey. 7, Neil Holding. 8, Tony Burke. 9, Graham Liptrot. 10, John Fieldhouse. 11, Andy Platt. 12, Chris Arkwright. 13, Bernard Dwyer. Substitutes for today, number 14, Roy Haggerty, and 15, Paul Farber. It's pleasing to see that Tony Burke and Chris Arkwright both signed contracts in the middle of last week, so we're assured of those services. Castleford, I'll go through the team now. Number 1, Rookley. 2, Plange. 3, Marchant. 4, Anderson. 5, Boothroyd. 6, Irwin. 7, Southernwood. 8, Sillytoe. 9, Beardmore. 10, Samson. 11, England. 12, Kevin Ward. Recently back, I think it was last Wednesday, he came back after his stint with Manly in Australia. Number 13, Joyner, with 14, Hill, and 15, Mountain. The Castleford team, obviously eager, as are Saints, to do well this season. The Saints A team played Castleford A at Nosey Road on Friday night and won convincingly, 30 points to 14. Dave Harrison, reserve hooker for St Helens, had an exceptional game, as he usually does, in attack and defence. Tremendous tackler, this Harrison. Also young Austin Donegan, been in trouble with a lot of injury lately, injury and illness, but he had a great game. He won the man of the match, the sponsors man of the match, bursting through numerous times, late on to short balls and then laying balls on 4 tries at least twice, and he managed to score one himself. Today's referee is Fred Lindop, one of the old campaigners. So we look forward to a good game here at Weldon Road today. Beg your pardon. Saints already had 2 pre-season friendlies versus Sheffield Eagles at home, which they convincingly won 40 points to 2. And we played at Widnes last Sunday, a game which I didn't think was going to be on. Torrential rain all over the weekend. The Widnes pitch held up well to the game. It was finally on, but Saints just losing out 26 points to 14. In the lead for most of the game, but then Widnes just came through late on and grabbed the win. ready for the off. Saints public, as same as myself, looking forward. Anyway, it's your regular Saints video team with you, Lion Piers on camera, and myself, Ron Hoof, on the commentary. Look forward to being with you all the season, and just let's hope we have a good season, just slightly better than we did last season. Anyway, away we go. Neil Holding kicks off to the Weldon Road end. Taken by Castleford, driving toward the 25. Andy Platt and Chris Arkwright straight in there, bundle him down. Castleford coming away with the ball. John Fieldhouse this time with Bernard Dwyer. That's number 11 England. Pushing the tacklers off, but Fred Lindop quickly on there and penalises Saints for offside. So the first penalty of the game going to Castleford. Pick for touch over here by our commentary position. It's Beardmore. Hooker for Castleford, veteran hooker. Plays the ball onto number 10, Sampson, driving in. Graham Liptrot, John Fieldhouse and Tony Burke well in there, bundle him down. Beardmore acting half-back, takes it left to Shillito. Saints defence, holding firm, bundling him back. Strength, taking the ball. Andy Platt's taking the ball off him. Shillito doesn't like it, but he has to suffer it, and Saints coming away. Mark Elliott, plenty of attention. Kevin Ward, Beardmore, bundle him down right on the touchline here. Graham Liptrot acting half-back. Onto Tony Burke, going from deep. Castleford defence well in there. Both props, Shillito and Sampson, in there. Graham Liptrot. Tremendous tackle there from Sampson. On Graham Liptrot. Mark Elliott. Neil Holding looking for the gap. Kicks it downfield. Rookley has to turn round. Gathers the ball safely. David plunges with him. Drives to his 25. Brought down by Kevin McCormack and Mark Elliott. Saints right wing partnership. The left wing partnership, I beg your pardon. So Castleford in possession. David Plunge plays it to Beardmore. Ball coming back to England. Tony Burke throws him down. The ball comes out of his grip, but it goes backward to Sampson, I think it is, and Saints well in there. Chris Arkwright, Andy Platt. So tremendous game so far this early couple of minutes. Ball kicked down by Castleford to Kevin McCormack. Comes in field. Solid Castleford tackling. See that his progress doesn't go any further. Beavers plays it on to Chris Arkwright. Second tackling there by Ward. Going in there, slung a fist in there at Chris Arkwright. Going unnoticed by referee Lindop. But the ball now going with Mark Bailey, I think it is, in the centre. Just managing to get into Castleford half. Yes, Mark Bailey. Neil Holding acting half-back. Played on to John Fieldhouse. Breaks through. Slips the ball out to Neil Holding. Saints on the attack. Lofted ball over to Paul Loughlin. Tackles are wiped off now. So it's 6 tackles for Saints and 20 yards from Castleford line. Saints on the attack. The ball coming crossfield. Lovely ball from Liptrot onto Arkwright. Tries to flick it out to Andy Platt, but Marchant intercepts. Unlucky there. Saints on the attack, but Castleford intercepting the ball. They've lost the ball there, England. Gathers it. Bernard Dwyer follows his man, brings him down. Still pegged in their own 25, Castleford. Beardmore acting half-back. Takes it left. Onto number 12, Ward. Big cheer from the crowd, but that's a knock-on. Ward flings it back. A good forward, this Ward. International forward. Just had a spell with Manley. Takes 2 and 3 men on and flings the ball out. But flung it back that time. The Castleford man knocked on. So it's a scrum down just outside Castleford 25. With Neil Holding to feed. First scrum of the match now. Referee not satisfied with the ball. So kicks it to the touchline. Another ball's brought on. Neil Holding to feed this scrum. Well, Saints penalised before the scrums actually packed. Are going down before he told them to form the scrum. Another penalty to Castleford. Kick towards the halfway line. Just finds touch 5 yards inside Castleford half. And Saints penalised again for offside this time. Well, referee Lindop showing his authority early on in this game. Only 4 minutes gone, and Castleford with 3 penalties to the credit. So a kick again to touch, and fine touch just inside Saints 25. So it's Beardmore to start, onto Shillitoe, coming from deep, driving forward, taken down by Tony Burke. John Fieldhouse in attention. Beardmore again, acting half-back. Brings it to the right, ball coming back to England. Saints tackling, holes out. Tony Burke and Graham Liptrot in there this time. Beardmore again, change of direction. The ball coming back, a loose ball from Castleford, taken by Kevin Ward. Flings it out to the right, so Castleford still in possession, but losing ground. Number 5 there, Boothroyd, brought down 5 yards outside Saints 25. Boothroyd again, plays it to himself, goes forward, Chris Arkwright in there with John Fieldhouse. And Bernard Dwyer. Castleford coming to the right. Number 4, Anderson, Australian centre, in possession. Beardmore now acting half-back onto Ruckley. Little chip over the head. Phil Beavers gathers it well. An awkward bounce of the ball there. And Castleford penalised. Ruckley penalised for pulling Phil Beavers, not enabling him to get up and play the ball quickly. So Saints' first penalty of the match after 6 minutes. Paul Loughlin to kick the touch. It's a fine day, as you can see here at Weldon Road. Loughlin finds touch midway between the halfway and 25 in Saints' half. It's Graham Liptrot to start off. Tony Burke, first man in. Comes from deep, drives forward, turns in, tries to release the ball, but the Castleford tattlers well in there. Stop his gallop. Graham Liptrot coming blindside, kicks upfield. David Large chases there, gets Ruckley, tackles him, but just can't force him behind his line. He's just tackled all on his own line. So Castleford being pegged back there. Saints quickly up there, and Castleford taken back, tackled behind their own line. So it's a drop out from between the sticks. Good tackling from Saints there, well up there. Saw the danger. So Castleford sloppy tactics and managed to peg them back. So it's a drop out from between the sticks. Castleford forced back there by some splendid Saints tackling. The ball comes through Mark Bailey and Mark Elia onto Kevin McCormack. Comes upfield, taken down by David Plange. Solid tackle, and Roy Southernwood in there as well. The Saints on the attack. Bernard Dwyer pushes 2, 3 Castleford tacklers off, finally brought down by Beardmore and Southernwood, and Saints taking it to the right. Onto Neil Holding, loop movement with Arkwright, onto Mark Bailey. Ball back to Tony Burke. Gathers it safely, drives forward, brought down right on the halfway line. Saints still in possession, Graham Liptrot acting half-back. Onto John Fieldhouse, straightens up, but Beardmore brings him down. Graham Liptrot taking it right, Chris Arkwright, onto Neil Holding. Good ball from Andy Platt. Equally good ball to Phil Beavers, linking up in the line, over there on the right wing. Last tackle now of this set of 6 for Saints. Ball with Neil Holding. Looking to run around, gets it out to Paul Loughlin, who grubbers for touch and finds touch on the 25. Saints just getting a little bottled up there on that 6th tackle. Finally, the ball going to Paul Loughlin. Saints leading goal and point scorer last season. He finds touch on the 25, so it's second scrum of the match, and Roy Southernwood to feed. The ball coming out Castleford side. So Castleford in possession, just pegged in their own 25. Keith England coming crossfield, I think, yes. Finally brought down by Andy Platt. And John Fieldhouse, I think, is it? No, Tony Burke. Castleford in possession, bringing it to the right. Running from deep there. Castleford forwards. Number 12 that time, Kevin Ward. Well, now John Joyner slips it inside to Beardmore. Back to Ward, kicks downfield, taken comfortably by Kevin McCormack. Walks round Marchant, but Beardmore has him. Good solid tackle from Beardmore, round the legs. Can't go anywhere without the legs. The ball now with Saints and Tony Burke. Beardmore in again with Ward and John Joyner. captain for Castleford, playing loose forward today. Bernard Dwyer breaks through, slips the ball out to John Fieldhouse. The ball just goes through him, but it doesn't go back. Saints quickly gather it. Mark Bailey drops on it, and the ball now with Saints. Chris Arkwright flicks a lovely ball round onto Phil Beavers. Ball with Paul Loughlin, but being moved forward by referee Lindop. Good work there from Saints. Chris Arkwright slipping the ball out to Phil Beavers, up in the attack. And the ball going out to Paul Loughlin, but being a judge forward. So it's a scrum down just inside Castleford half. Good game so far, 10 minutes of the game and no score. Ball coming out Castleford side. Good solid tackling from both sides. A fine pitch here at Weldon Road, it's in good condition, and let's hope we can get an equally good game. So Castleford in possession. Beardmore acting half back onto Shillitoe. Andy Platt takes him, the ball going down, knock on there. Well, referee unsighted, looking to his touch judge not giving any signal here, the linesman, and definitely a knock on there, but Castleford still in possession. Being forced back though, Saints tackling tremendous so far. Roy Southernwood kicking downfield, up for touch, the ball's not going to go into touch. Phil Beavers is back there, it's not going to go dead, he's gathered in his own in-goal area. Excuse me, he takes the tackle, and David Large now acting half-back. Gathers the ball, comes crossfield, looking for a gap through. Tremendous turn of pace, this Large. As I said, a close season signing from the local ranks. Andy Platt in possession in his own 25. Graham Liptrot, John Fieldhouse, looking for the gap inside to Bernard Dwyer. John Fieldhouse now, Graham Liptrot, long pass over to Kevin McCormick. Lovely floated pass, well taken by Kevin McCormick. Inside to Mark Elia, but the ball was a bit deep, and he couldn't gather that earlier. Tony Burke came in quickly, but couldn't gather the ball. But David Plange in there and gathers it for Castleford. For Castleford in possession. The ball with Ward now. Trying to fling it out, finally does so. Neil Holding has his man there. Quick ball there from Ward to Ruckley, but Neil Holding quickly in there. England in possession now, on to number 10, Samson for Castleford. Well taken down by John Fieldhouse and Chris Arkwright. Castleford in possession, moving it right. Joyner feeds inside to Ruckley, on to England. Well, two blatant forward passes there, going unnoticed by referee Lindop. But Castleford still in possession. Marchant plays it to himself. He gets pulled down for his trouble, but number 6, Sherwin for Castleford. And it's the last tackle of this set of 6 for Castleford. Beardmore takes it left to Ruckley. Taking it left, Castleford down to Ward. Trying to burst through, but that forward pass again. Yes, I should think so too. Blatant forward pass onto Shillitoe. It looked as though it was going unnoticed by referee Lindop as Shillitoe fed onto Ruckley up in the line, but it's a blatant forward pass there. There's about 2 or 3 that he didn't see, but he saw that one. So it's a scrum down, 5 yards inside Saints 25. The ball coming out Saints side. Neil Holding does it quickly, but Roy Southernwood quickly round the scrum there, exceptionally quick. Bernard Dwyer now coming away with the ball from the acting half-back position. Liptrots on to John Fieldhouse, on to Mark Bailey, but Castleford quickly up there, snuff him out. Graham Liptrot again, on to John Fieldhouse, coming on this left wing. Mark Elia, probably the first real touch of the ball, fending him off, creates the gap. Mark Elia, on to Chris Arkwright, going over the right wing. Ball taken down, it's going to be 6 tackles again. Well, it's going to be a knock-on, must be a knock-on. Yes, finally ruling the knock-on. Ball knocked down by the Castleford man. Saints looking as though they had an overlap, but Castleford man quickly in there. It's a scrum down just outside the Saints 25. 14 minutes of the game gone so far and no score. Neil Holding fed, the ball going against the feed. And Castleford in possession. And to Irwin, crossfield to Ruckley, linking up well, crossing there, obstruction. Well, he's just told them, he's pointed, he hasn't penalised this time, but there was the offender, Anderson, in possession for Castleford. Beardmore acting half-back, onto Shillitoe, onto Samson, I should say. Brought down by Bernard Dwyer. Beardmore again, acting half-back. Castleford taking it left. John Joyner, veteran campaigner for Castleford. Brought down the Chris Arkwright and Graham Liptrot well in. Last tackle now of this set of 6 for Castleford. And they take it left. Ruckley. High kick there. Kevin McCormick. Well back. Gathers the ball. But not successfully. Marchant goes in there. Well, a high kick off Ruckley there. Awkward kick. Kevin McCormick let it bounce. Unfortunately, couldn't gather it. And Marchant quickly up there goes over for the first score of the match. So it's Ruckley now, seeing if he can tag the extra points on. Here he is lining up. Typical round the corner kicker. And there he goes. No, takes it to the right of the posts. But Castleford 4-0 in the lead. After that score, ball taken by England. And Fieldhouse and Andy Platt quickly up there. Saints penalised again for offside. I think referee Lindop pointing to Bernard Dwyer as the offender this time. So Ruckley, I think it is, coming up to take the kick to touch. He slices it, and it goes in just to the left of our commentary position. But it's Castleford going to be in possession. Beardmore onto Sampson, Tony Burke, John Fieldhouse there, bundle him down, 10 yards short of the halfway. 15 minutes gone and Castleford in a 4-0 lead. The try there by Marchant. Shillitoe for Castleford now with the ball. Brought down by Chris Arkwright and Bernard Dwyer. Beardmore acting half-back. Feeds it inside to England. Gets his pass out. Looks like Ruckley there linking up. Yes, it was Ruckley. But Beardmore takes the acting half-back onto Joyner. Brings it out to Marchant, the try scorer. Takes the ball, it's offside there. Yes. Passed it out, the ball knocked down by Castleford, and Marchant gathered the ball in an offside position. So penalty to St Helens. Just the second penalty of the match to St Helens. Castleford already had 4 penalties. Paul Loughlin kicks for touch and finds touch 10 yards short of Castleford 25. So it's Graham Liptrot to restart. First man in, John Fieldhouse. Within crossfield, looking for runners, but taken down by Sampson, and it's Saints in possession. Chris Arkwright, short ball onto Tony Burke. Good solid Castleford tackling. Bundle him down. Neil Holding onto Bernard Dwyer, loop movement with Holding, but Southernwood in there takes the interception, and Castleford in possession. England acting half-back, Castleford moving it left. To Joyner, onto Ruckley linking up. Well, we've only had 18 minutes of this game, and Ruckley linking up well there in the Castleford attack. The ball now with Kevin Ward, looking to release the ball. Forward this Ward, but solid Saints tackling. Arkwright, Platt and Dwyer bundle him down. Beardmore takes it left. Shillitoe there, receiving some solid tackling attention from the Saints. Paul Loughlin and John Fieldhouse this time. Ball back to Ruckley, up and under again. Kevin McCormick takes it safely this time. Drive toward Marchant, and plunge, and number 4 there, Anderson, over the top. Second tackling in, but going unpenalised again. Mark Earlier in possession, trying to get forward, solid tackling from the Castleford side. Stop his gallop. Neil Holding, loop movement with Graham Liptrot. Feeds on to Mark Bailey, and Saints looking a bit more lively now. On to Graham Liptrot again. Taking it over to the right, Andy Platt. And we've just penetrated Castleford 25 now. Saints gaining ground. Graham Liptrot. Long pass over to Neil Holding. Phil Beavers linking up. Lovely ball to Beavers. Back to Neil Holding. Off the Castleford man, I think. On to Mark Earlier. Marchant brings him down. But referee Lindop ruling the last tackle. Well, I thought that touched the Castleford man, but referee Lindop not ruling so. Neil Holding England tries to kick through. It's the Castleford man, but he manages to gather it. Keith England it is, coming away with the ball for Cass, still pegged in their own 25. Beardmore onto Shillitoe. Andy Platt quickly in there, and Graham Liptrot. Tony Burke in support. Beardmore again, acting half-back. Onto number 6 there, Sean Irwin. Stand-off for Castleford. Both these half-backs ex-Great Britain Colts. And now well established in the first team. But Southernwood acting half-back up to Ruckley. Kicks it upfield. Phil Beavers gets a hand to it. It goes back. Easy for Phil Beavers to gather. Kevin McCormick with him. Gathers the ball at pace. And drives forward towards the halfway line. The Saints on the attack. Look as though they're putting it together now. Mark Bailey onto Paul Lockley. No. He lays the pass. Takes the tackle himself. Brought down 10 yards short of Castleford 25. The Saints bringing it to crossfield. Onto Andy Platt. Straightening up. John Fieldhouse in support, but Andy Platt just couldn't release that ball. But it's Saints on the attack. Bringing it left, Chris Arkwright, Neil Holding. Lofty pass. Cuts out Phil Beavers onto Mark Healy. Inside to Kevin McCormick. Can he make it count this time? David Plange brings him down. Superb tackle from Plange. Phil Beavers steps up quickly, acting halfback. Neil Holding, bobbing and weaving. Inside to Mark Healy. Well, Saints brought down 2 yards short of the try line. Neil Holding, acting halfback. Tries to go through. Got the ball going dead. Neil Holding tried to grub her through and follow his kick, but being adjudged, he's been brought down in the tackle. Castleford quickly take the tap from the 25. Tony Burke quickly bundles down Ruckley there. Plays the ball to Marchant, driving forward Marchant. Saints good on the attack there. Plenty of support here from the loyal Saints fans. And Castleford moving it left into Joyner, inside to England, reverse pass to England, where he's brought down by his opposite number, Andy Platt. And it's Beardmore taking it back to Ruckley, kicks it downfield. Phil Beavers gathers it safely. Beardmore follows up, tackles Beavers, but Saints in possession. And Beardmore penalised for taking Beavers' legs from underneath him in his attempt to play the ball. So Paul Loughlin stepping up. Kicks for touch, finds touch safely, just about 5 yards from Castleford 25, so it's Saints on the attack now. 23 minutes of the game gone. Let's see if we can get some points on the board for Saints. Just manning John Fieldhouse. Going down this left wing, Neil Holding stepping up again for the acting halfback. Bringing it to the right onto Tony Burke. Samson and Shillitoe well in with Ward in support. Quickly taken on to Neil Holding. Graham Liptrot on to Andy Platt. Looking for support, Andy Platt, but he can't get that ball out. Graham Liptrot now. Take it to the right, but Castleford penalised for offside. Had to play the ball, so I would imagine Paul Loughlin step up here and have a shot at goal. Yes, Roy Haggerty, today's back substitute, acting as Sandman today. So penalty for Saints. Evening the penalties up now, I reckon. Four penalties each. So Paul Loughlin, see if he can open the Saints account and also his own account for this season. Quite easy for Loughlin's capabilities. The league's leading goal scorer last season with 119 total. He steps up and slots it between the sticks. So 24 minutes gone, and Paul Loughlin opening the Saints account with a 24-minute penalty goal. So 4 points to 2 in Castleford favour at present. Castleford penalised for offside, had to play the ball for Saints, and the Saints opening their account. So it's Ruckley steps up to restart the game. Just about quarter of an hour of this first half remaining. On a scoreline of 4-2 to Castleford. Ruckley kicks deep. Paul Loughlin gathers the ball. Good rangy lad, this Loughlin. Ideal build for a centre. Brought down 10 yard shots of his own 25. Graham Liptrot acting half-back. Tony Burke coming from deep. Pushes one Castleford man off. Finally brought down on the 25. Good running from deep there from Tony Burke. That's the idea. They take some pulling down if you're running onto this ball. But Burke acting half-back, takes it over to Arkwright, onto John Fieldhouse. To Bernard Dwyer now. Good jump from Dwyer. Lofted pass there onto David Ladd. Well, ruled forward by referee Lindop. Well, a bit of a harsh decision there, I would say. Lovely lofted pass there. David Ladd took it well, but being ruled forward by referee Lindop. So it's a scrum down just inside Saints half. Castleford winning the scrums at present 3-1. And it's Southernwood to feed. Ball going with the feed. Castleford coming away with it. The ball going out there to number 6, Sean Irwin, but unfortunately he knocked on. So another scrum down, but it's just in Castleford half this time. Neil Holding going to feed this scrum. 2 old campaigners there, the two, because Beardmore and Graham Liptrot. The ball coming out Saints side after a bit of a shambles. Phil Weaver's linking up. Tries to get the ball out to David Large, but couldn't release it. Good solid Castleford tackling. Bernard Dwyer with the ball now. Beardmore and England, I think that is, taking down. The Liptrot acting half. Saints bringing it left. Tony Burke. Good forward this Burke. Ward and Irwin take him down. John Fieldhouse from acting half-back goes on his own. Good run from Fieldhouse, 10-15 yard run. Saints on the attack. Now with Neil Holding. Lofted pass there to Mark Elia. Tries to get past Marchant, but gets the ball out to Neil Holding. Touches the Castleford man this time. Will referee Lindop wipe them off? Yes, he has done this time. So it's Saints with another 6 tackles to the credit and 35 yards from Castleford line. Can they make it count? Graham Liptrot sees the gap, tries to break through. Brought down just on the Castleford 25. Mark Bailey taking the acting half-back position for Saints. Saints on the attack. Another 5 tackles to make it count. Bernard Dwyer, short ball onto John Fieldhouse. Taking it over there to the right wing. Bill Vevers coming up, taking the acting half-back position, but Fieldhouse is injured. Well, Vevers, under the new ruling now, Vevers can take the ball and play it while Fieldhouse receives attention. So Saints quickly away, take the ball, Neil Holding, inside to Andy Platt. Flicks the ball out to Bernard Dwyer, but Castleford man well in there, Shillito well in, and bundles him down. But it's Saints on the attack now. Phil Vevers line linking up onto Loughlin, inside to Large. Does well to keep inside. Solid tackling from this Castleford defence. Last tackle of the set of 6 for Saints. The ball coming to Phil Vevers. Crossfield up and under. Taken by Marchant again. He's hurling down the wing. Neil Holding has him. Super tackle from Holding. But he puts the ball inside to Plange, who knocks on. Well, a good break there from Castleford. Off that up and under, they managed to gather the ball. But Marchant coming through, slipped it out to Plange, he knocked on. Neil Holding brought a brilliant tackle off on Marchant, but he managed to get it out. The ball being knocked forward, so it's a scrum down 5 yards inside Castleford half, right in front of us here. Neil Holding to pick it, the ball coming out straight side. Kevin McCormick flicks it out to Mark Bailey, but the ball going loose and Marchant with it. Scoops the loose ball up for Castleford. Phil Vevers quickly in there. So it's Castleford in possession. And to Southernwood scrum half for Castleford. Vevers brings him down. Ward in possession for Castleford now. Flicks the ball up to Beardmore. Brings it inside to Joyner. Neil Holding and Bernard Dwyer quickly in there. Bundle him down. That's about the 4th tackle for Castleford now. And still in possession. Moving it to the left. Onto Irwin. Saints now with Kevin Ward trying to flick it out, and Saints have made a substitute there. Roy Haggerty coming on for the injured John Fieldhouse. Ruckley kicks it through, well taken by Phil Vevers. Beats one man, but Ruckley following up. Vevers gets the ball out to Paul Loughlin. Watch him stretch his legs. David Large comes inside, but Marchant takes him down. And Saints on the attack. Chris Arkwright moved up to the second row position today, so that Bernard Dwyer can take the loose forward berth. Mark Bailey acting half-back onto Graham Littrot, coming cross-field, over to the left, Bernard White, inside to Mark Elia. Tremendous pace off this New Zealand test centre. Still going! What a run there. A full 30-yard run from Mark Elia. Roy Haggerty now. First proper touch of the ball. Feeds on to Andy Platt. Lovely ball to Mark Bailey. Saints driving towards the line. Saints on the rampage now. 5 yards from the try line. Graham Littrot. On to Chris Arkwright. Yes, he's in! Arkwright under the sticks. Brilliant teamwork from Saints there. Spread the brawl, crossed the line, and resulting in a try for Arkwright. So Saints taking a 6-4 lead at present, with Paul Loughlin to add the extra points on right under the sticks. Should just be a formality for Loughlin. Steps back and just lofts it over the crossbar there. So 8 points to 4. Saints in the lead now after Castleford taking a 15-minute lead with the Marchant try. Castleford there making a substitute. I think number 14 Hill coming on to replace left centre number 4 Anderson. Was it? Mountain. Is it for Anderson though? Yeah. Well, I've just been informed that it's Mountain that's come on as substitute for Anderson. So Castleford kick off. Taken by Paul Loughlin. And Saints on the attack again. Andy Platt. International second row forward for Saints. Andy Platt, good strong lad. And Saints taking it right. Roy Haggerty feeds the ball out. One-handed to Chris Arkwright. Saints taking it over to the right. Inside there, David Large. Let's see what he can do. Tremendous turn of pace, this Large. Brought down 5 yards inside Castleford half, and Saints moving it to the left. Neil Holding onto Graham Littrot, reverse pass to Roy Haggerty. Pushes one man off, going towards the Castleford 25. Gets the pass out to Phil Beavers, onto Paul Loughlin. Brought down right on the Castleford 25. Tremendous play from Saints, flowing it about, and good flowing rugby. Neil Holding, lofted pass to Mark Elia, down this left wing, inside to Kevin McCormick. Pushes one man off, still going Kevin McCormick. Can he make the line? Still going this lad. Brought down by Ruckley, right in front of the sticks. Saints on the attack now. It's the last tackle. Lofted pass there onto Mark Bailey. But Marchant tackles him, and it's the first changeover of the game after 33 minutes. Good attacking play from Saints. Castleford in possession. David Plan just brought down short of his 25. Sean Irwin coming from deep. Phil Beavers brings him down. Beardmore in support. Then a bit bottled up there. Well, that was forward a mile. Forward a mile onto Ruckley. Referee Lindop lets it go, but Ruckley takes the ball. Marchant acting half-back over to Joyner. Taken down by Roy Haggerty. Reverse pass to Roy Southernwood. Castleford on the attack. Another pass again. England takes it out to Boothroyd. Well, not up with play at all there, referee Lindop, and a succession of forward passes, but resulting in a try. Well, a tough opening programme for Saints. First few games, Castleford away today, then Hull KR at home, then Lee away in the Lancashire Cup, and then Warrington away in the league. But they're all going to be tough this season, with there being only 14 teams in the First Division. You would expect to get perhaps an easier run from the newly promoted teams, Hunslet and Swinton, but anything can happen in this First Division this season. So Ruckley lining up, when it comes across field. So the scores 8 points each. Substitute back today, flicks the ball inside to Chris Arkwright. 20 yards from Castleford line, Saints in possession, 8 points each, and about 4 minutes to go in this first half. The ball coming back to Andy Platt. Tries to flick the ball out there to Roy Haggerty, but Sampson prop forward for Castleford, looking for the interception. Saints still in possession. It's the last tackle of this set of 6 for Saints. Mark Healy over there as acting half-back on the opposite side of the pitch, but the ball goes to Neil Holding. Unfortunately, he knocks on just inside Castleford 25. So it's scrum down just inside Castleford 25. About 2.5 minutes of this first half remaining. Just goes all square, 8 points each. It's being penalised there, so Castleford, Beardmore playing the ball onto Shillitoe, finally brought down by Andy Platt, Tony Burke and Neil Holding. Beardmore acting half-back, misses out Sampson onto England, quick ball from Southernwood onto Ruckley, linking up, the ball going back. Castleford still in possession, but pegged on their own 25-yard line. Irwin at your half-back, takes it to England, takes it over to Castleford left. Beardmore stepping up now, looking for the way through, looks to release the ball, does a kick forward by Sampson. Bill Beavers gathers and is brought down by Sampson, who was following his kick up, but it's Saints coming away with the ball. Mark Bailey, Saints stand off today. Ray Liptrod acting half-back, onto Tony Burke coming from deep. Good solid Castleford tackling there. Ward and Beardmore onto Roy Haggerty, over to the right, inside pass to Mark Bailey. Moved forward by referee Lindop. Oh, it's a scrum down midway between the Castleford 25 and the halfway line, with Roy Southernwood to feed. Castleford just cleaning up on the scrums, 4-3. They make it 5-3. Castleford in possession. Saints being penalised for offside at the play of the ball. Ruckley stepping up, finds touch, just about 10 yards inside Saints half. All on full time here at Weldon Road in this first half. Or possibly Castleford's last chance to take a lead in this first half. Sampson bursting through. Well, there they are as I speak. The hooter goes right on the 40 minutes. So Castleford and Saints going in, 8 points each at half time. Saints try from Chris Arkwright and 2 Paul Loughlin goals, and a try from Marchant and a try from Boothroyd, Castleford squad. Scores all level at half time, 8 points each. Saints just making one first half substitution, with Roy Haggerty coming on for John Fieldhouse. No further substitutions at half time. Here come the Castleford team. Saints involved in some post-season signings with Shane Cooper, the Kiwi, the Adrian Shelford business, as we don't know much about, really. Phil Price, Dave Large, Neil Gavin and Steve Dudley, a local policeman being signed up, but only on amateur forms because he's a policeman and they mustn't be able to play professional rugby. As I said before, Steve Lark, Tony Burke and Chris Arkwright signed in the middle of last week, so we're not so bad now. Well, Saints playing Castleford 3 times last season, with Saints running out winners in the John Player televised tie after being 16-0 down at half-time, but coming back to win 26-22. Anyway, Castleford kick off towards the Weldon Road end. The ball taken by Andy Platt. Oh, Bernard Dwyer, I beg your pardon, who seems to have got a knock in that tackle. Chris Arkwright in possession, Graham Liptrot acting half-back, onto Roy Haggerty. Feeds onto Mark Bailey, who does well to gather that ball, Bailey. Quick pass, quick hands there from Roy Haggerty, and Mark Bailey gathered it. So it's going left, inside to Neil Holding. Andy Platt did well there. A low down pass from Neil Holding, but gathered safely. And so it's moving it to the left. Ball Loughlin kicks downfield, touched the Castleford man. Taken by Ruckley, onto Plange. Hurrying through Plange, tremendous forward. Takes a full 40-yard run there. Brought down from the scene of the kick. Saints being penalised. Neil Holding and Chris Arkwright there being adjudged to have held Plange down in the tackle, not enabling him to get up and play the ball quickly. So Beardmore to restart, on to Shillito running from deep. Tony Burke and Graham Liptrot bring him down just inside Saints 25. The Castleford on the attack, short ball there. On to Sampson, and it's Beardmore again. Back in half-back, taking it on his own, looking for England, running from deep. Gets out of the tackle, onto Mountain, onto Marchant, across to Irwin, but Mountain comes back for the reverse pass. The ball's loose. Castleford gather it. Saints managed to release the ball, but Castleford drop on it. So it's another 6 tackles. Castleford on the attack. Ball with Keith England now. 20 yards from Saints line. Castleford in possession, midfield. Mountain acting half-back, inside to Ward. Looking to release the ball. Finally brought down 15 yards from the try line, but the ball being adjudged to have been knocked on by referee Lindop, so it's a scrum down just about 10 yards from Saints try line, with Neil Holding to feed. Scores all level at present, 8 points each. Neil Holding feed, ball comes out Saints side. Plan move there with Bernard Dwyer. And Saints moving it to the left. Roy Haggerty, first off Roy Haggerty, he's on his own. Inside to Mark Elia, couldn't gather that ball. Unlucky there. Tremendous burst off this Roy Haggerty, and the sidestep. But Marchant's in possession for Castleford. Obviously Phil Beavers there couldn't touch that ball, he was in an offside position. Castleford scoop it up and move it left. Mountain in possession. Ruckley coming up as the acting half-back position, taking it left to Joyner, onto Irwin, onto Boothroyd, this left wing for Castleford. Sampson driving forward, Chris Arkwright and David Large finally bring him down. But it's Castleford on the attack, 10 yards from Saints line. Beardmore swings it out to the right. Finally taken by Southernwood, brought down by Bernard Dwyer and Graham Liptrot. The last tackle of this set of 6 for Castleford. Expect a drop goal here, can we? No, it's an up and under from Ruckley, and he's chasing it. Kevin McCormick gathers it safely this time. And he's penalised for holding McCormick down in his efforts to get up and play the ball. Kevin McCormick doing well after that early falter when Marchant scored the try in the 15th minute. So it's Paul Loughlin kicks downfield and finds touch 10 yards short of the halfway line. Neil Holding stepping up to restart. Tony Burke, first man in. Drives towards the halfway, just breaks into Castleford half. Neil Holding now, acting half-back position. Graham Liptrot, change of direction inside to Roy Haggerty, lurking on that wing, on that left wing inside to Graham Liptrot, on to Andy Platt. Arkwright coming through from deep. Tremendous work there again. All stemming from Roy Haggerty. But Saints on the attack. Andy Platt tries to flick it up to Mark Haley, but Castleford tackling holds out well. Mark Bailey acting half-back, moving it left. Bernard Dwyer going for the drop goal. Hits the post, the ball comes back. Gathered by Marchant. Well, Dwyer there trying to break the deadlock with an attempted drop goal. Unsuccessful this time, the ball coming back off the post. And Dean Mountain in possession. Ruckley stepping up, back in half-back position. Ball loose. Saints gather. The Saints in possession, just inside their own half. Graham Liptrot quickly down there. Saints moving it to the right. Chris Arkwright looking for the gap. Normally in the loose forward role, but moving up to the second row with Andy Platt. So Bernard White takes the loose forward berth. Mark Bailey acting half-back. Bringing it to the right. Onto Andy Platt, drives forward, tries to flick it up to Mark Bailey, coming through, but solid tackling there from loose forward Joyner and Southernwood. Saints still in possession. Graham Liptrot, change of direction. Lofted pass to Paul Loughlin. Tries to take him on. Releases to David Large. Does well there. Large straightens up. Goes through one tackle. Good forward, good prospect this Large. Barry Ledger unfortunately out injured with an ankle injury. And Saints moving it left on the last tackle. Bernard Dwyer. Naughty dies with the ball. So it's a changeover. 10 yards short of the halfway line. And Roy Haggerty quickly in there. Being penalised for offside. Castleford very lucky there. Haggerty in there like a shot. Castleford very sloppy at that play, the ball, the changeover. But referee Lindop ruling in Castleford's favour. So Saints penalised. Beardmore takes a tap onto Dean Mountain. Substitute forward for Castleford. Coming on to replace the Australian centre Anderson. So Castleford now taking it to the right. Shillito in possession. Releases the ball to Sampson. His other prop. The ball going to Marchant now. Castleford throwing it about. Southernwood. Inside to Ruckley, linking up. Onto number 6, Irwin. Tremendous play. Onto Marchant. Overlap there for Castleford, but Marchant holds the ball. Brought down, but it's Castleford on the attack. Onto Southernwood. Inside to number 12, Ward. Tries to burst through his own man and everything. But it's Castleford on the attack now. 2 or 3 yards from Saints line. Ball coming to England, tries to get through, no way through for him. Saints tackling, holds out firm. Acting half-back Irwin, takes it right to Southernwood. But knock on there at the play of the ball, being ruled by referee Lindop. Is he out? Is he? Oh, he's Australian. Thank you. So it's a scrum down now, just about 5 yards from Saints try line. Neil holding to feed. The ball going with the feed. Neil holding coming away with it, going cross field. Trying to clear the ranks. Mark Bailey takes the acting half-back. Takes it left onto Tony Burke. Saints still pegged down in their own 25. Mark Bailey acting half-back. Over to Chris Arkwright, looking to create space. Does so. Releases back to Paul Loughlin. He can't gather that ball safely. Knocks it forward. Castleford, Ruckley, I think it is, quickly in there. The ball now with Shillito. Big prop forward for Castleford. Finally stopped, but not bang to the ground. But it's Sampson in possession now. Burke, Dwyer and Arkwright bundle him down. Beardmore acting half-back. Castleford bringing it to the left. Onto Kevin Ward. Flicks the lovely ball up there. Onto Joyner. Joyner, quick hands. Onto number 6, Irwin. It was a quick hand ball. And Irwin just couldn't gather it. Knocks it forward. But Castleford looking very lively this second half. 9 minutes of the second half gone so far. And no further score. Still 8 points each. Neil holding to feed. comes out Saints side, on to Paul Loughlin. Ball loose in the tackle there, and Castleford quickly on it. Taking it over there, England. Phil Beaver's quickly up there onto Mountain, I think it is. Onto Plange. Plange looking to go over there for Castleford, but brought down by Roy Haggerty. Beardmore acting half-back. Bringing it to the left. Roy Southernwood, brought down by Andy Platt. Well, he evades that tackle, and he's still going. Tremendous run for a little fella. So Castleford putting Saints on the rack again. The ball coming back. Loose ball. Well, a bad ball there. Castleford losing it, knocking it forward. Saints tried to gather it. Neil Holding, I think, but he just couldn't gather it. He knocked on as well. So it's a scrum down right in front of the sticks, 10 yards from Saints line. But Neil Holding with the feed. The ball coming Saints side. On to Andy Platt. Well, second tackling in the back there, Southernwood, but he gets away with it. And Saints bringing it away. Chris Arkwright. Graham Liptrot acting half-back. On to Roy Haggerty. Side step, off Roy Haggerty, with the ball knocked down. Castleford supporters at the Weldon Road end. It's full of Castleford spectators, but cheering there, but no joy. The ball definitely knocked on by Sean Irwin. So it's a scrum down right on the 25. Neil Holding to feed again. Ball going with the feed. Saints cleaning up on the scrums. 5-0 this second half. Plenty of possession for Saints, but unfortunately not been able to convert it into points at present. Loop movement with Dwyer and Holding there. Dwyer breaks through, looking for support. Nobody with him. Andy Platt was, but he was on the wrong side of Dwyer, but it's Saints in possession. Beavers linking up. On to Paul Loughlin, stretching his legs. Feeds a ball out to Mark Healy. Lovely ball to Elia. Harry McCormick with him there, but Castleford do well and tackle him. But Healy are injured there. Saints bringing it to the right. On to Mark Bailey. Brought down on Castleford 25. But it's Mark Healy still injured over there. Bernard Dwyer. On to Graham Liptrot. Reverse pass to Andy Platt. Tony Burke coming up from deep. Brought down the ball just to ground. Castleford fall on the loose ball, I think. Yes. Castleford in possession, but pegged down in their own 25. Well, Castleford very sloppy again there at the play the ball. Saints quickly in, but being penalised. The ball quickly taken there by Roy Southernwood. Gains a valuable 10-15 yards. Rutley acting half-back, linking up well. And Castleford now still in their own half, but on the attack. Saints being penalised there for not allowing Rutley to play the ball. Quickly taken again by Southernwood. Gathers a good 10-15 yards there. So Castleford on the attack. Now there with Keith England, taken down by Roy Haggerty, Graham Liptrot and Tony Burke. Beardmore acting half-back, moving it right. On to Sampson. Well, what a try. What a try from this prop, right under the sticks. We listened to Castleford crowd go wild there. He took that ball, there didn't look any danger, but he stepped through some feeble tackling there from Saints. And should just be a formality for Rutley. Slot this over, stepping back. There he goes, slots it over. Yes, no problem. So 14 points to 8, Castleford in the lead. Regathers it, taken by David Large with Andy Platt in support. It's Castleford with a 14 points to 8 lead. And 14 minutes of this second half gone. Castleford in possession. A good game, real end-to-end stuff. Castleford quickly getting away there. Beardmore bringing it down to Mountain on the burst. The ball being knocked on here right in front of us. David Ladd's getting kicked in the hand, I think, but he's safely up and well. So right on the halfway line, Neil Holding to feed. Referee limbed up quickly and as Roy Southernwood, but the ball coming out Saints side, on to Mark Bailey. On to Andy Platt, taking it left. Gets the ball out to Mark Elia. Receiving plenty of attention. Mark Elia, Sean Irwin and Marchant in. At the tackle. Saints bringing it right. Neil Holding looking for the gap, trying to jink through, but no way through. Shillito and Beardmore quickly in there. Bernard Dwyer. On to Paul Farber, his first touch the ball. Lovely lofted pass on to Kevin McCormick. Hits upfield, well taken by Ruckley. Gathers the ball, comes away, brought down just inside his own 25. Roy Haggerty finally holds him down, but it's Castleford in possession. Into David Plange, taken down by substitute forward Paul Farber for St Helens and Tony Burke. I'd imagine Bernard Dwyer moving up into the hooker role now. Chris Arkwright reversing to loose forward. It's Beardmore for Castleford. Up to Southernwood. Kicks it upfield. Just a formality for Phil Beavers. Passes it on to David Large. Beats one man. Kevin Ward brings him down. Good tackle from Ward. Tackles him round the waist and slides down the legs. Ball forward now. Held by Beardmore and Shillito, but Saints in possession. Over to Roy Haggerty. Steps off one foot, tries to release the ball. Can't do this time, has to take the tackle. Just brought down in his own half. Bernard Dwyer acting half back to Neil Holding. Loop movement with Chris Arkwright. Lovely ball onto Andy Platt. Running from deep. Shouted by Paul Loughlin. Couldn't gather it. Ward does. Well, Ward penalised for not playing the ball. Rightly so. Obviously aggrieved at such a good tackle by Chris Arkwright, and the international prop forward doesn't like it, but Saints getting the penalty from that encounter. Wouldn't play the ball, so referee limbed up penalising him straight away. And from the resulting penalty, Saints fine touch midway between the halfway and Castleford 25, played by Bernard Dwyer onto Tony Burke. Saints in possession. Onto Chris Arkwright, taking it left. Neil Holding, onto Roy Haggerty. Side steps there, feeds it back to Neil Holding. It knocks on. In referee knocks. Eyes, he knocked on. So it's going to be a scrum down. Midway between the halfway and Castleford 25, with Roy Southernwood to feed. 18 minutes gone and the score 14 points to 8 in Castleford favour. Now Castleford there getting the first scrum of the second half. Always joining now. Brought down by Phil Beavers. Mark Bailey in support. It's Castleford in possession. Marchant onto England. Onto Ruckley. Ruckley with the ball. Phil Beavers, his counterpart, takes him down. Well, Castleford in possession. Sampson, the try scorer there. A brilliant try by him. Brings the ball out to Irwin. Tries to sidestep inside, but Paul Farber has him, forces him back. Beardmore. On to Mountain. Grubber kicks through and finds touch midway between the 25 and halfway in Saints' half. So we're scrumming down. As I say, midway between the halfway and Saints 25. Neil Holding to feed. Saints mopping up on the scrum this second half, 6-1. Well, the ball going against the head there. Castleford turning the scrum and winning the ball. Castleford coming away with it. Mark Bailey, Phil Beavers. Finally bring the man down. It's substitute forward Dean Mountain. Fresh man and a good strong forward. Keith England there going crossfield. beats one, flicks the ball out to Mountain again. He flicks it out there, a lofted pass for David Plange, but he couldn't gather it. The ball going directly into touch. But spirited performance there from Castleford. Good exciting rugby here at Weldon Road.
Yes, Tony Marshall was in support as well there.
And the referee, Noppy doesn't like that scrum, so we've got to do it again. But it's Neil Holding to feed. The ball going against the head again. Coming out to Roy Southernwood. He feeds on to David Plange, so it's Castleford on the attack. 10 yards from Saints' try line. England straightening up, trying to burst through, so Saints Sattling have to hold firm here. Beardmore, take crossfield to Joyner. Ruckley linking up. Beats one tackle, but brought down by Farber and Mark Bailey. It's Castleford on the attack, putting pressure on the Saints. Loop movement there with Joyner and Beardmore, but Joyner's still in possession. The ball going down, knock on. And Castleford knocked on, but the ball going into Saints' possession. Farber gathering it up. Bernard Dwyer here injured on the floor as Chris Arkwright bursts through. Mark Bailey taking the acting half-back position for Saints. And taking it left onto Neil Holding. Andy Platt steaming up. It's Neil Holding to take the acting half-back position. Taking it to the right onto Roy Haggerty. Tries to straighten up and drive through, but no way through for him. So Saints again onto Paul Farber. Bursting through, looking for support. Mark Bailey again, still going. But Bailey holding on the inside. Good tackle from Roy Southernwood there, but it's Neil Holding, acting halfback, takes the ball, Holding grubbers for touch. Yes, a superb kick from Neil Holding there. Finds touch, 10 yards inside Castleford 25, so that's relieved the pressure for Saints. Castleford putting Saints under a hell of a lot of pressure this second half. 22 minutes of the second half gone, and Castleford still with a 14 points to 8 lead. Castleford making the second substitute, number 14 Hill coming on for number 8 Shillito. Castleford winning the scrum. They've mocked the last 3 scrums up on the trot, and Plange coming through, finally taken down. Mark Bailey chasing him, and Mark Keelia in support. But Castleford in possession, pegged down in their own 25. Ruckley acting half back onto Samson. Bernard Dwyer back fully fit now, tackles him, and it's Beardmore acting half back. Back to Ruckley, he's going to kick it upfield, cross field, and Castleford penalised for offside at that kick. So it's an offside decision. Chance for a goal kick for Saints if they wish, or do they elect to take a quick tap? Well, Loughlin stepping up, obviously he's going to have a go for the 2 points. So it's Paul Loughlin stepping up there for this goal kick, about 30 yards out, and the midfield shouldn't have any problem with this penalty kick. Here he goes now, stepping up for this penalty conversion. Strikes it well, yes, and right through the sticks. So 23 minutes gone. And Paul Loughlin reduces the deficit with a penalty goal. So it's 14 points to 10, still in Castleford favour. And it's Ruckley stepping up to kick off to restart. Takes it over to Saints at the left wing. Kerry McCormick stops it with his foot, gathers it safely, brought down 10 yards short of the 25. Roy Haggerty acting half-back onto Tony Burke. Coming through, but solid Castleford tackling. Hill and Dean Mountain both substitutes in quickly there. This Hill, he played at for Castleford in the A-team at St Nosey Road on Friday night. Farber there, banging down. Beardmore, good solid tackle from Farber, but it's Castleford on the attack. England coming through from deep. Can't get this man down, but he's finally brought down by Farber and Bernard Dwyer. It's Castleford pressing on Saints line, 5 yards from Saints line. Ball coming cross field, Mountain. Looks to slip the ball out inside, but Chris Arkwright stops him round the top there with Mark Bailey around the legs. Had a good solid game of this Mark Bailey today. The ball going loose again. Saints snap it up. Andy Platt in possession. Going cross field. Over to Mark Elia. Feeds the ball onto Mark Elia. Can we weave his magic here? Oh, he's bundled down. And penalised. Duly penalised. That's Marchant, I think, going in with a tackle. Obviously, referee Lindop had shouted held, but Marchant continued with the tackle. Penalised for his trouble, and Paul Loughlin picks the touch. Finds touch 10 yards inside Castleford half. Bernard Dwyer to restart onto Roy Haggerty. Beats 2 men, tries to feed the ball out, but the support's a little slow in coming up. Paul Farber going down the left wing, feeds it inside, well taken by Bernard Dwyer. Obviously Paul Farber trying to keep it going, fed on to Bernard Dwyer, did well to handle that ball. Neil Holding, lofted pass onto Phil Vivers, onto Mark Elia, lurking over here on the right wing now. Over everywhere today, Mark Elia. Taken down by John Joyner, veteran campaigner for Castleford. Ball going left, Mark Bailey misses out Neil Holding. Short ball to Andy Platt. Taken by Chris Arkwright, but he knocked on. Referee not playing advantage there, he was ready for blow up, but good advantage played. Castleford in possession. Hill now substitute back for Castleford in possession. And Castleford bringing it to the left. England tries to pass the ball up to Mountain, but it's knocked back. A good solid tackle there from Andy Platt. Couldn't pass the ball as quickly as he wanted to, but he did so. Good solid tackle there by Tony Burke on Kevin Ward. And Castleford still in possession. England going crossfield, bundled down by Haggerty and Bernard Dwyer. Last tackle of this 6 for Castleford. Oh dear. Oh. Ball penalised, Saints penalised. The ball quickly taken by Roy Sutherland. Feeds onto Ruckley. Onto Marchant. Still going. Plunged in front of him. Castleford on the attack. This Southernwood quick at taking these tap penalties. There's no messing with this fella. They get a tap penalty and he's away. Plays the ball. Saints there. Roy Haggerty pinches the ball off him in the tackle. Man's on the ground, Haggerty tackles him, plunge, he pinches the ball and gets penalised for his trouble. Well, what can you do? So the plunge there being treated. Obviously a penalty to Castleford. Ruckley stepping up. See if he can tag the points. Saints making a further substitution. Bernard Dwyer going off, and Graham Lidshot's coming back on. So Saints with a couple of early injury problems, but Ruckley lining up. Yes, in the league last season, there's a home and away. We lost both occasions to Castleford by just the 2 points. We lost 12 points to 10 here at Weldon Road, and then 10 points to 8 at Nosey Road. Both controversial decisions, but that's how it goes. And Ruckley stepping up for his penalty conversion, and he misses it. So about 11 minutes of the game remaining, and Saints just with a 4-point deficit, 14 points to 10. So Neil Holding with a 25-yard dropout. A good kick from Holding there. A good 70-yard kick. Gathered by Ruckley. Plunge coming inside. But he's bundled down just outside his own 25. Castleford in possession. Beardmore onto Plunge. On the inside. Roy Haggerty in there at the tackle with Chris Arkwright. Beardmore again. Castleford bringing it to the left. On to Mountain. Good quick ball there from this lively scrum half. Southernwood. Back to Beardmore. Up to Ruckley. He's going to kick it upfield. Trying to peg Saints up in their own half. Well in their own half. Phil Vevers gathered it. Quickly passed it back to Kevin McCormick, but unlucky, the lad knocked on. So Castleford in possession there. And it's going to be a scrum down. Halfway between the 25 and Saints try line. With Castleford feed. Ball coming out Castleford side. Well, cleaned up on these scrums. Last 4 or 5 scrums they've taken. A couple against the head, but it's Castleford in possession. On the attack, 10 yards from Saints line. On to Joyner, on to England. Good shoulder charge by Andy Platt there, stops England's gallop. But it's Castleford on the attack. Beardmore, on to Joyner. Dummies round, tries to get through. Feeds inside to Hill, but he can't gather the ball. Mark Bailey scoops up. But it's Saints in possession, but only 10 yards from their own try line. Liptrot acting out, back onto Farber. Have to clear the ranks now, ensure that this ball is safely in the grasp. And it's Neil Holding now, acting half-back. Bringing it to the right, to Tony Burke. Releases it to Mark Bailey. Had a good game today, this Mark Bailey. Filling the problem standoff berth. So it's Chris Arkwright in possession, being brought down by Hill and Mountain. Roy Haggerty acting half-back. Fends one off. Reads on to Neil Holding, looking for the gap, taking it over there to the left wing. On to Mark Elia. Hurling down the left wing, Mark Elia. Tremendous pace off this fella. Beats 2, still going. Brought down in Castleford 25. A tremendous run off this Kiwi international. Kevin McCormick. Well, he's having a nightmare of a game today, Kevin McCormick. Gets the ball, drops the ball. So it's a scrum down now, but at least it's a scrum down in Castleford 25. But Castleford getting the ball. A bit mixed up there, whether that was a penalty or what, I don't know. But referee Lindop looks though he's indicating a scrum, but Castleford come away with the ball. On to Sampson. Just about 8 minutes of this game remaining. Saints scoop the loose ball. Mark Bailey. On to Paul Loughlin. Into David Large. Can he get in at the corner? No. Forced into touch there. Well, from defence onto attack there by Saints. The ball coming well across the field, and David Large just couldn't get into the corner there, being forced out. It's a scrum down about 10 yards from Castleford try line. Just about 7 minutes of the game remaining. Castleford come away with the ball. Level of scrums up now at 6 scrums each. As I said, this scrum half, lively scrum half for Castleford. Roy Southernwood in at the thick of the action, but it's Castleford pegged in their own 25. Jordan in possession. Ruckley acting half-back. Getting bundled up there. Just a bit lacking in idea. Pegged in his own 25. The Saints have to put the pressure on now. On to Sampson. Solid tackling there. Farber, Haggerty, and Andy Platt. Beardmore losing the ball. Knocking on, yes. Obviously, referee Lindop waiting for advantage. So it's a scrum down, 15 yards from Castleford try line. With Neil Holding to feed, it's essentially that Graham Liptrot's now back on the field. Boots this ball, gives Saints possession. Just 4 points in arrears. Well, the ball coming out Castleford side. Castleford coming away. Marchant. Well tackled Kevin McCormick. Well, quickly played by Marchant. It's a toss-up whether he did play that ball or not. But Castleford in possession and driving forward 10 yards short of the halfway line. Coming crossfield onto England. Arkwright and Farber tattle him. Finally brought to ground just short of the halfway. Beardmore acting half-back. Castleford bringing it across field. Southernwood picking the ball upfield. He's not going to find touch, but Phil Vevers safely gathers it. Beats one man. Tries to slip the ball round to David Large, but Castleford tattlers hold firm. And Large steps up at acting half-back. Brought down right on the 25. Neil Holding stepping up at the acting half-back position. Tries to go on his own. On to Mark Bailey. Crossfield to Andy Platt. Lovely ball to Mark Elia. Inside to Paul Loughlin. Tidies up. Fens 2 off. Still going. Lovely pass off the floor as he was going down. Onto Haggerty. Back to Chris Arkwright. Onto Graham Liptrot. Back to David Large. But quickly in there, Sean Irving. But he knocks on in as he gets the ball. In possession. Just about 4 minutes of the game remaining. It's Joyner taking over to Dean Mountain, looking to release that ball inside, but solid Saints tackling there, Andy Platt and Chris Arkwright, but it's Castleford in possession. Feeds it inside, but the loose ball, Phil Beavers quickly gathers, Saints in possession. Well, the Saints have got to go about 75-80 yards now to score, but well within their capabilities. On to Mark Bailey, just brought down inside his own 25. Mark Healy, acting half-back, onto Paul Farber, running back into the thick of things. Saints here lining out. Mark Bailey, Graham Liptrot, lofted past to Neil Holding, onto Roy Haggerty, quick hands there, onto Paul Loughlin, but Castleford, number 6, Sean Irwin quickly in there. David Large onto Roy Haggerty. Releases the ball, onto Mark Healy, onto Haggerty, onto Arkwright. Lovely ball, back past her. Chris Arkwright breaking through, inside to Kevin McCormick. Dropped on the halfway line, but flicks it up to Mark Bailey. Still going. Tremendous rugby from Saints there, but it's the last battle of this set of 6. 3 minutes to go, and the 4-point deficit from Saints. Andy Platt, short ball onto Mark Healy. Inside to Phil Beavers. And a knock-on, a double knock-on. Castleford couldn't gain possession. England goes down for the ball, knocks on. Phil Beavers come to gather, but he knocked on as well, so it's the changeover. That was the 6th tackle. I keep forgetting about this on the... unless it's a foul play, any misdemeanour, it still counts towards the 6th tackle. Probably that's what was up on the far side of the field when I just got a little mixed up. But it's Castleford in possession with Roy Southernwood, the lively scrum half, finally being stopped by Paul Farber and Chris Arkwright. Feeds the ball onto Ward. Paul Farber takes him down. Roy Haggerty as well. Real tough customer, this Ward. Castleford is still in possession. Time running out for Saints. Only a couple of minutes of this game remaining. Ruckley linking up well. He's linked up well for this Castleford outfit today. Castleford 14 points to 10 in the lead. Last tackle for Castleford. Hill kicks for touch and finds touch right on Saints 25. Tony Burke down there injured, but it's receiving treatment. It's a scrum down right on the 25 with Neil Holding to feed. Castleford coming back from 6 scrums to 0 down. They're finally leading by 8 scrums to 6. Cleaned up lately, but Neil Holding regathers one from Saints. And Saints coming away with it. Beavers trying to break through. Just a minute of this game remaining, and Saints with a 4-point deficit. Tremendous game here though. Mark Healy hurrying through, feeds inside to Mark Bailey. Still going Mark Bailey. Well, it's a last ditch attempt for Saints. Neil Holding. Ball coming cross field onto Chris Arkwright. Lofted pass there to Haggerty. Couldn't gather that ball, Chris Arkwright. The idea was right. But Roy Haggerty unable to gather that ball. Castleford in possession. Sampson cleans up. Ball now with Bainmore. Taking it crossfield onto Marchant. Lively centre Marchant. But it looks as though the 2 points are going to Castleford today. Saints trailing 14 points to 10. Castleford breaking through. And Castleford still in possession. Spreading it across the line onto Dean Mountain. Paul Farber takes him down. Irwin acting half-back for Castleford. Takes it in field. Onto Beardmore. Chips through. Beardmore following up. David Large is there. But Beardmore's over. Well, right on the 40th minute. Beardmore goes over for a try. Well, there's no disputing the final score now. So Castleford are 18 points to 10 in the lead, and all on the final hooter, with Ruckley lining up for this conversion. So Ruckley stepping up. A tremendous game here at Weldon Road. Unfortunately, it's on the wrong end of the scoreline. It's Ruckley now lining up. Go for the kick. Yes. Slots it between the sticks, and there's the final hooter. So Castleford running out winners by 20 points to 10. A real tremendous second half. Scores all level, 8 points each at half time. Then Castleford opened scoring with a 13-minute Samson try and a Ruckley goal. Then Paul Loughlin reducing the deficit with a 23rd minute penalty goal. And in the 40th minute, a Bob Beardmore try and a Ruckley goal, putting the result beyond doubt. So, unfortunately, Saints running out losers, 20 points to 10, the first game of the season. Quickly taken again by Sutherwood. Gathers a good 10-15 yards there. So Castleford on the attack. Now they're with Keith England, taken down by Roy Haggerty, Graham Littrot and Tony Burke. Beardmore acting half-back, moving it right. On to Sampson. Well, what a try. What a try from this prop, right under the sticks. Mark Bailey acting half-back, on to Graham Littrot. Coming cross field, over to the left, Bernard Dwyer. Inside to Mark Elia. Tremendous pace off this New Zealand test centre. Still going. What a run there. A full 30-yard run from Mark Elia. Roy Haggerty now. First proper touch of the ball. Feeds on to Andy Platt. Lovely ball to Mark Bailey. Saints driving towards the line. Saints on the rampage now. 5 yards from the try line. Graham Littrot. On to Chris Arkwright. Yes, he's in! Arkwright under the sticks. Brilliant teamwork from Saints there. Spread the ball, crossed the line, and resulting in a try for Arkwright. Well, 31 minutes of this game gone. Saints open the try account. Chris Arkwright going over right.